Good morning, everyone. So, in today's session, we are going to see part 2 of the lesson Soil and Rocks. So, in last class, we have started this lesson, and in that class, we have seen what we have seen was what is soil and how the soil was formed, isn't it? Okay. So, in today's session, we are going to see the composition of soil. Composition means what? What are the things which are present in the soil? Because soil is not a single thing, it is a mixture of so many particles present inside. So, we are going to see what are the particles which are present in the soil. That was given as composition of soil. So soil contain many things. Soil contain many things. It consists of gravel, sand, clay, humus, and also air and water. These are the things which are present in the soil. I repeat, gravel, sand, clay, humus, air and water also. So here one picture was given, that is a handful of soil was taken and it was placed in the water. Okay, after some time the soil start to deposit, and not all the particles are deposited at the bottom layer. Okay, so different zone of particles were seen, that was given in the picture. So once again look at the picture. So the bottom layer of the soil, that is the bottom, the down, the region which is present in the bottom, no, that bottom layer of soil is made up of small stones, that is called gravel. So gravel is nothing but very small stones, pebbles. Okay, above the gravel sand is present. Above the gravel, what it is present? Sand. Above the layer of sand, clay particles are there. They are very fine particles. Okay, clay is there, and above the clay, muddy water, that is, it is rich in humus. What do you mean by humus? The dead remains of plants and animals, no, that is called humus, and it contains lot of minerals in it. Along with that, air and water is also present in the soil, because air and water we cannot shown in this picture. Okay, but you can check with the experiment and all. For example, if you are watering the plants, freshly, so you can see the bubbles coming out of that soil. That is because of the air, because air was trapped inside. Once you pour the water, the air comes out. Okay, and you can also check with the water content also. For example, we can take some handful of sand and we can heat it by using covering the lid. So after some time, if you open the lid, you can see the inside water droplets, which means that soil contains water. Once we heated, when we are heating, it starts to evaporate. Okay, so soil consists of gravel, sand, clay, humus. Along with that, air and water also present. Okay, then we are going to see one more thing, types of soil. Basically, there are three types of soils. So that only we are going to discuss in this topic. Okay. So types of soil, when we are saying talk about types of soil, we already know that soil is nothing but they are very small particles of weathered rocks. What do you mean by soil? Soil is a small particles of weathered rocks. What do you mean by weathered rocks? Weather means it denotes a process, weathering. I told that very large, in our last class we have seen. Usually in very basically the first time itself it was found that they are huge rocks, isn't it? In earlier period, earth is fully made up of huge rocks, and a continuous climatic changes and conditions, weathering condition, it was broken down into small particles, isn't it? So weathering is a process which means that continuous heating and cooling makes the rocks, that is, it will break the rock into small particles. That process is weathering. Weathering means broken, that is, big rocks are broken down into small particles because of heating and cooling. They are called weathered rocks. Weathered rocks meaning broken pieces of rocks. Okay. Basically, soil is of three types based on the size. That is size of the soil particles. Based on the size, they are classified into three types. What are they? Sandy soil, clayey soil, and loamy soil. I repeat, sandy soil, clayey soil, loamy soil. Here the picture was given: clay soil, loam soil, sand soil. These are the three different types of soils, and based on what they have classified this, based on the size of the soil particles. Okay. Okay, first we are going to see about sandy soil. So the name itself, understand, it is this soil is rich in sand. Because while talking about composition itself, we told sand is also one of the compositions of the soil, isn't it? So sandy soil, here it is totally occupied by the sands. They are rock particles. These rock particles, because soil is nothing but rock particles, isn't it? Weathered rock particles. Okay, they are larger in size. That is, their size is very large and lots of space between them. From one particle to another particle, there is a lot of space is there. Okay, they do not stick with each other. Here the mistake is that spelling mistake, n is not given, sorry for that. Do not stick with each other. So one particle and another particle, they never stick with each other, that is, they never join together, so that it does not hold water. If you pour water on that soil, the soil contains lots of rock particles, small particles. They are larger in size and they have lot of space between them. So due to that space, the water cannot hold in that, so it can easily drain out. Have you understand? For example, imagine in our imagine our school bench, you know that, isn't it? For bench, mostly we can sit together, isn't it? Suppose if two people are sitting, for you and your friend, some space is between, in between two of them, isn't it? Suppose if I ask you to sit four in a bench, is it possible? So how you will sit? You will sit very closely, so isn't it or not? You will sit very tightly, so the space between these yourself and your friend will be reduced, isn't it? Like that, here also the particles are larger and space is also more, so water cannot hold, it will drain easily. So in the this type of soil is found where you can find near the seashores, desert areas, river banks and all. So this soil is not suitable for the growth of plants, because for the growth of plants, the soil has to hold the water, isn't it? Because plants need water, it is very essential. But these type of soil, they can't able to hold the water, it can drain the water easily. So plants do not grow in this type of soil. Which soil? Sandy soil. I repeat, sandy soil. The particles, the size of the soil particles are larger, and each particles, the space between the each particle is also very large, so water cannot hold in between them, it can drain easily. So plants do not grow in this type of soil. And where you can find this type of soil? Near the seashore, river bank, and even in desert region also. Okay. um, See here, one filter was taken, in that sandy soil has taken. I told that it cannot hold the water, so water has poured on that, so it cannot hold the water, so it can drain easily, so more amount of water is coming out. Can you able to understand? If it has the capacity to hold the water, this amount, the water will not come out that much, isn't it? It doesn't have the capacity to hold the water, so the water what we are pouring is exactly coming out. Okay, so sand is not a good soil for growing plants, because It does not hold water and nutrients that are required for the growth of plants. Have you all understand? Okay. So the next one is clayey soil. They are very small rock particles. Here also PAR will come. Sorry for that. Clay soil, they are very small soil. They are very small soil, and there is no space of air because they are very small. So more number of soil will be there. So the space between the each soil is very less. Okay, so they can stick together very easily. It is just opposite to sandy soil. There particles are large, here particles are small. There is more space, here no space. They do not stick each other, here they will stick each other. So they won't hold the water. Here good amount of water is held by the soil. The water drain is very good in that sandy soil, here very slowly. But in sandy soil no plant growth, but here also no plant growth. Why? Because it can hold more amount of soil. Even too more amount of water is not good for plants, isn't it? Required amount only it have to need this soil can able to hold more amount of water, so that is also not good for the plants. So this type of soil also not advisable for the growth of plants. Okay, so what we can do with that soil? You can make bricks, floors and ceramic tiles also. You can do that kind of thing using this soil. So what are the points we have discussed in sandy soil is just opposite to clay soil. One similarity is both soils are not advisable for the growth of plants, but here even one or two plants you can use. For example, rose and all roses you can grow in that clay soil. Okay, so the third thing is, sorry, before getting into the loamy soil, I want to show this picture. The same thing, clay soil has taken in the filter and we are we are pouring the water. I told it has the good capacity to hold the water. So the drainage, that is the water coming out, no, it's very less while compared to the sandy soil. Have you understand what I am saying? See, here you are pouring the water, and clay soil has the capacity to hold the water, so only less amount of water is coming out. That is, this is the draining thing. Here more amount of water is held by the soil. Have you understand? Okay, but when you see the uh, sandy soil, more amount of water is draining out. Okay. Okay. Why? Because it does not provide air to breathe, because the particles are very tightly closed with each other, and root will travel along with that space. If there is no space, how they will travel inside? Because roots are present in the soil only, isn't it? They need a space for their purpose for breathing also, isn't it? So due to this the plants do not grow. Okay. The third thing is loamy soil. Loamy soil is a mixture of sand and clay. It's a mixture of sand and clay. So we can say the quality of the soil. The quality of the soil always depends upon the quantity of the types of soil we have taken, because it is made up of, it is a mixture of sand and clay. So how much quantity of sand and how much quantity of clay is mixed together, based on that only we can say the quality. So it has enough air and water for plants, and it holds good amount of water, and also good drainage system is also there, so plants grow well in that soil. And it also contain humus means what? The dead remains of plants and animals. And it is also rich in minerals, so it is also very fertile, which makes the soil more fertile. Okay, while comparing to the sandy soil and clay soil, loamy soil is good for the advisable for the growth of plants. Have you understand? So I once again repeat, there are three types of soil: sandy soil, clay soil, loamy soil. Sandy soil you can see in seashores, riverbanks and desert region. So you can compare the sandy soil and clay soil. Sandy soil particles are large, clay soil, particles are small. Here there is lot of space. Sandy soil has a lot of space. Clay soil, no air space. So they do not stick each other. Sandy soil particles do not stick each other, but in clay soil, soil particles stick together. So it cannot hold water. Sandy soil does not hold water. Clay soil holds more water. Sandy soil has a very good drainage system, but clay soil has a very less drainage system. The only similarity is plants do not grow in both sandy and clay soil. Okay, but loamy soil is a mixture of both sand and clay, so enough air, enough water holding capacity and enough drainage system, so plants grow very well in this soil. It also rich in humus. Humus is nothing but dead remains of plants and animals, which makes the soil more fertile. Okay, so this is the soil, loamy soil taken in the filter, and more water is we are pouring the water. It has a good capacity to hold the water as well as the drainage system, so it is suitable for the plants growth. Okay, so the remaining thing I'll continue in this next session. Go through the video again so that you get a clear cut idea. Okay, thank you.